A very good morning to my dear students. Today we are going to discuss chapter number 4, metals and non-metals. So let's start with our first topic, elements. Elements are the pure substances which are made up of only one kind of atom. It means ऐसे substances जो सिर्फ एक ही एटम से मिलकर बने हैं उन्हें हम कहते हैं elements. Elements are classified into three categories depending on their physical and the chemical properties. First are the metals. Generally, metals are hard and shiny in appearance. For example, iron, copper, tin, silver, gold, etc. Second are the non-metals. Generally, they are not so hard and dull in the appearance. For example, sulfur and phosphorus. And the third category is the metalloids. Metalloids have some properties of metal and some of non-metals. For example, silicon, arsenic, antimony, germanium, etc. Now if we talk about the electronic point of view, metals ऐसे elements होते हैं जो electrons को lose करके positive charge acquire करते हैं and they generally contain 1, 2 और 3 valence electron. Whereas non-metal ऐसे elements होते हैं जो electrons को gain कर negative charge acquire करते हैं and generally they contain 5, 6 और 7 valence electrons. Our next topic is occurrence of metals. In nature, most metals occur in the combined state as minerals, and nearly all rocks contain some metallic minerals. Often, the amount of metal present in the rock is so little that it is too expensive to mine these rocks and extract the metal from them. If the amount of metal is more, it is profitable to mine the rocks and extract the metal. So what is ore now? Ore is a mineral from which metal can be extracted profitably and mineral के साथ मिलने वाले impurities को हम बोलते हैं gangue. And the process of extraction of metal from its ore is known as metallurgy. Now we'll learn few terms related to physical properties of metals and non-metals. Our first term is malleability, the property of metals by which they can be beaten into thin sheets is known as malleability. Metals को हम पतली पतली sheets के अंदर convert कर सकते हैं and इस property को हम बोलते हैं malleability. Our second term is ductility, the properties of metals by which they can be drawn into thin wires is known as ductility. Gold and silver are the most malleable and ductile metals, whereas non-metals are neither malleable nor ductile. They are brittle. Our next term is luxure. Metals have a shiny appearance, whereas non-metals do not have a metallic luxure except graphite. Sonorous. Sonorous is a property of metals in which they produce a ringing sound when struck. So this is the sum up of all the properties related to the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Now we'll learn physical properties of metals. Metals are generally solid except mercury, which is a liquid. Metals are generally hard except lithium, potassium and sodium, which can be cut using a knife. Metals have a luxurious appearance. Metals are malleable, ductile, have high melting and boiling point except gallium and cesium, which have low melting points. Metals are good conductors of heat, in which silver and copper are the best conductors and lead and mercury are the poor conductors. Metals are good conductors of electricity and the best conductor of electricity are silver and copper. Metals also produce a sound when struck with the hard surface. Physical properties of nonmetals. Nonmetals may be solids, liquids, or gases. For example, solids are carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, etc. Liquid is bromine, and gases are oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, etc. Nonmetals are generally soft except diamond, which is the hardest known substance of the world. Nonmetals do not have any luster except iodine. Nonmetals are non-malleable, non-ductile, and they have a low melting and boiling point. Nonmetals are bad conductors of heat. Nonmetals are bad conductor of electricity except graphite, which is a good conductor of electricity. And nonmetals are non-sonorous. Now, you can easily differentiate between the physical properties of metals and nonmetals. Our next topic is chemical properties of metals and nonmetals. The first one is the reaction with oxygen. Metals react with oxygen to form metal oxides which are basic in nature. For example, copper reacts with oxygen to form copper oxide. Similarly, aluminium reacts with oxygen to form aluminium oxide. The second is reaction with water. Metals react with water to form oxides or hydroxide and hydrogen, but in different ways. For example, sodium, potassium, calcium react vigorously with water, giving off a lot of heat. Magnesium reacts with hot water or steam. Iron reacts with steam when it is heated strongly. Moreover, copper, gold, platinum do not react with water or steam. And the last one is the reaction with acids. Metals react with acids to form metallic salts and hydrogen. For example, zinc reacts with dilute HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, to form salt, zinc chloride, and hydrogen gas. Now we'll talk about chemical properties of nonmetals, in which first is reaction with oxygen. Nonmetals react with oxygen to form non-metallic oxides which are acidic in nature. For example, when sulfur reacts with oxygen, it forms sulfur dioxide. The second is reaction of nonmetals with water. Nonmetals generally do not react with water. Rather, some nonmetals like phosphorus, which react with air vigorously, are stored in water. Third and the last one is reaction of nonmetals with dilute acid. Generally, nonmetals do not react with dilute acids. This is the sum up of chemical properties of metals and nonmetals. Our next topic is displacement reaction. The reaction in which one more reactive element displaces less reactive element from its salt solution is known as displacement reaction. Remember one thing, a metal will always displace another metal that is lower in the reactivity series. For example, zinc is more reactive than copper. So, zinc will displace copper from copper sulfate and will form zinc sulfate plus copper. Whereas, copper cannot displace zinc from zinc sulfate because copper is less reactive than zinc. Reactivity series of metals. The arrangement of metals in decreasing order of reactivity is known as reactivity series of metals. In this reactivity series, some elements are placed at the top and some are placed at the bottom. The elements which are at the top are most reactive and can displace the low reactive elements, whereas the elements which are at the bottom are least reactive elements and cannot displace the most reactive elements. Next comes the uses of metals and non-metals. Uses of metals. The first is copper. Copper is used in making electrical wires, heating utensils, and some useful alloys. Iron is used in making steel and stainless steel. Aluminium is used in making cooking utensils, for packaging food, for making alloys. Zinc is used in dry cells and the preparation of useful alloys such as brass, bronze, German silver, etc. Lead is used in making automobile batteries. Chromium and nickel are used for electroplating. Titanium is used to make bodies of aircrafts. And mercury, which is a liquid metal, is used in thermometers and barometers. Uses of nonmetals and metalloids. First is the use of silicon. Silicon is used to make transistors, microchips, solar cells, etc. It is also used to manufacture silicons. Sulfur. Sulfur is used to manufacture sulfuric acid. It is used in vulcanization of rubber and it is also used in skin ointments. Phosphorus. Phosphorus is used in making matchboxes and in the firework industries. Carbon. Carbon as graphite is used in making lead of pencils. Carbon as diamond is used in making jewelry. Carbon as charcoal is used to purify air and water. And carbon as coal is used as a fuel. Hydrogen. Hydrogen is used to manufacture ammonia gas. It is also used in the extraction of metals. It is also used as oxyhydrogen flame for cutting and welding metals. Our next topic is noble metals. The metals which occur in free state and do not react with water, acids and alkalis. Moreover, they retain their luster. These kind of metals are known as noble metals. For example, gold, silver, platinum, etc. Gold and silver are used in making ornaments. They are also used to give a decorative and protective coating on other metals by the process of electroplating. Gold and silver are used for making high value coins, whereas platinum is used in electrical gadgets. Our next topic is corrosion. The surface of some metals get corroded when exposed to moist air for a long time. This is known as corrosion. Corrosion in case of iron is known as rusting. Corrosion causes heavy losses. That's why it's important to prevent corrosion. So, the ways by which prevention of corrosion of metals can be done are: first, by applying oil, grease or paint, we can prevent corrosion. Next, galvanization. Coating of metals with the non-corrosive metals like zinc. Next is electroplating. Coating of metals with non-corrosive metals like chromium or tin by passing electricity. And last, alloying. When iron is alloyed or mixed with chromium and nickel, it forms stainless steel, which is resistant to corrosion. Our last topic of this chapter is alloys. An alloy is a homogeneous mixture of two or more metals or one or more metals and a non-metals. Alloys are generally made to increase the hardness of metals, to make metals more resistant to attack by chemicals and atmospheric corrosion. And moreover, alloying is also used to change the properties of metals in other ways. For example, solder, an alloy of tin and lead, has a melting point which is much lower than that of lead or tin. Some common alloys, their composition and uses are given in this table. For example, brass is an alloy of copper and zinc, is used to make utensils, electrical goods, etc. Bronze, which is an alloy of copper and tin, is used in making statues. Solder, which is a alloy of lead and tin, is used in joining metals. Steel, which is a alloy of iron and carbon, is used in making bodies of ships and vehicles. Stainless steel, which is a alloy of iron, chromium and nickel, is used in making utensils, cutlery and surgical instruments. I hope all the concepts of this chapter are clear to all of you. Do take a revision and mark the internal questions. Prepare well for your half yearlies. Take care and have a nice day.